excited, and I'm so happy to be here with you all today. I also have with me...
Closer to your mouth.
Oops, sorry. I'm also proud to have with me
Justin Dixon Northup Gilliam, and I'm her cousin.
Yes, and Justin is also a descendant of Solomon Northup. So I initially found out about what's going on here in Richmond on Facebook. Somehow, I think it was an advertisement for this event that came across my news feed, and I was interested, and so I read through it, and I wanted to learn more, and so I just asked. I asked for more information, and there were a number of people here in Richmond who graciously provided me with a lot of reading material and helped me to learn more about what's going on here. And so I am glad, and I'm proud to be here in support of the work that you all are doing here. I just wanted to share, when I first heard, or my first memory of knowing that Solomon Northup was my great-grandfather happened when I was about 9 or 10, and I had the opportunity with my family to visit Saratoga Springs. And we were able to visit Solomon Northup's home from when he was in Saratoga Springs, places where he worked, and we actually had the opportunity to stand right in the place where he met the men who participated in his capture. And just to have that opportunity at such a young age, I was able to recognize the importance of what that meant. And I hope to have those experiences with my future children. And so I think it's very important that the work that is being here to support keeping this area and preserving it is important. And so we are going to read together a portion of Solomon Northup's book, 12 Years a Slave, where he discusses his time here in Richmond. At Fredericksburg, where we transferred from the stagecoach to a car, and before dark arrived in Richmond, the chief city of Virginia. At this city, we were taken from the cars and driven through the street to a slave pen between the railroad depot and the river, kept by a Mr. Gooden. This pen is similar to Williams's in Washington, except it was somewhat larger, and besides, there were 2 small houses standing at opposite corners within the yard. These houses are socially found within slave yards, being used as rooms for the examination of human chattels by purchasers before concluding a bargain. Unsoundness in a slave, as well as in a horse, detracts materially from its value. If no warranty is given, a close examination is a matter of particular importance to the Negro jockey. We were met at the door of Gooding's yard by that gentleman himself, a short, fat man with a round, plump face, black hair and whiskers, and a complexion almost as dark as some of his own Negroes. He had a hard, stern look and was perhaps about 50 years of age. Birch and he met with great cordiality. They were evidently old friends, shaking each other warmly by the hand. Birch remarked he had brought some company, inquired at what time the brig would leave, and was answered that it would probably leave the next day at such an hour. Gooden then turned to me, took hold of my arm, turned me partly round, looked at me sharply with the air of one who considered himself a good judge of property, and as if estimating in his own mind about how much I was worth. Let me just, for the sake of time, I'm not going to read the whole chapter. But in the morning, having swept the yard and washed ourselves under Gooden's superintendence, we were ordered to roll up our blankets and make ready for the continuance of our journey. Clem Ray was informed that he would go no further. Birch, for some reason, or for some cause, having concluded to carry him back to Washington. He was much rejoiced. Shaking hands, we parted in the slave pen at Richmond, and I have not seen him since.
And I will read one of the last chapters of the book. It kind of encompasses his feelings at the end. My narrative is at an end. I have no comments to make upon the subject of slavery. Those who read this book may form their own opinions of the peculiar institution. What I may be in other states, I do not profess to know. What it is in the region of the Red River is truly and faithfully delineated in these pages. This is no fiction, no exaggeration. If I have failed in anything, it has been in presenting to the reader too promptly the bright side of this picture. I doubt not hundreds, have been as unfortunate as myself. That hundreds of free citizens have been kidnapped and sold into slavery, and are at this moment wearing out their lives on plantations in Texas and Louisiana, not to mention Richmond. But I forbear, chastened and subdued in spirit by the sufferings I have borne, and thankful to that good being through whose mercy I have been restored to happiness and liberty. I hope henceforth to lead an upright through lowly life, and rest at last in the churchyard where my father sleeps. And to note, the churchyard where his father sleeps is actually where my cousin got to visit, and a lot of our family has gotten to visit up in Saratoga Springs. Thank you all.
Thank you.